right, we're back here. Welcome to a special holiday edition of Fired Up Live. Joseph Pasek with the broadcasting legend Storm and Norm Rumack, the Hall of Famer John Freeman Nelson in his limousine, Alex Campbell, and the coach Carmen Asako. And I said in the limousine, he doesn't want to show it. He's in the limousine. John Freeman Nelson, there it is. So, first of all, this is the holiday edition. I'm going to start off with John here. John, you're a Hall of Famer. Does this mean when you're a Hall of Famer, you get presents from Carmen Asako?
I don't know. Does it?
Carm?
Well, I just hope he's in England because he would be driving and talking at the same time.
No. The boss is in charge of taking care of transportation right now, so we don't wreck. I can multitask, but I'm not that good.
All right. Norm, you want to say hi to your buddy John Freeman Nelson?
Of course, I always want to say hi to John Freeman Nelson, the multi-time Hall of Famer, one of the smartest, nicest in the biz, and always good to be reunited with you and Carm right here on the Fired Up Network. How's that for a promo, Joe?
There's your promo.
Yeah, there's the promo. All right, Alex. First of all, I haven't seen you in a long time. How you doing?
Pretty good, Joe. How about you?
I'm good. Buffalo won, so I'm good. All right, so we're going to start off next week, next Monday here. We'll do our year-end review and all that, but it's Christmas time. I'll start off with you, Alex. What do you want for your favorite team during the holiday season?
Oh man, you know me. I'm a huge Lions fan. I just want the Lions to bring it home and win the Super Bowl. I think
Not going to happen. Buffalo's going to beat them, but anyways.
Oh, okay. We'll see. You know what Buffalo's record in the Super Bowl is, right? So fat chance.
And
there,
what's Detroit's record?
13-2 right now.
No, in the Super Bowl.
Never been to one in my lifetime.
So the rookies, Buffalo's time.
All right. It's better than 0-4, but I'll leave it at that.
All right, let's not talk about that. All right, John, how about you?
Wow. Well, let's see. I mean, depends on what sport we're talking here, but I mean, obviously, it's going to have to be a trophy for most of the clubs that we're talking about, or for the greater element of it all, making sure that not everybody portals out, and that you're actually better than 2-10 when it comes to college football. How about that?
That's right there. All right, Carm, I'm going to ask you this. And John, get ready. Is 2025 going to be your year that you're coaching a major soccer team like Norm whispered in my ear before we started, Chelsea, even though the Italians doing well in Chelsea?
I always thought my university gig was pretty major, Joe, but thanks to put things in perspective. I appreciate that.
All right. So what are you looking forward to, Carm?
I'm looking forward to a copy, or at least one copy of one of John's books that I was promised.
Listen, you didn't come to the Fired Up Network studios. Come on. You could have took me to Nino D'Aversa. Norm eats the
Nino D'Aversa.
Yeah. But look how happy John looks with the sun out. John, we haven't seen the sun in a while in Toronto. And it's minus 20 and flurries snowing. It is pretty, but
I'm squinting, Carm. This is not smiling. I'm squinting.
All right, so we'll start with Carmen here and John and Norm. Alex, I don't know if you follow MLS, but MLS just finished off 2 weeks ago. Carm, your buddy winning the MLS Cup.
Yeah, it was so long ago that I'm drawing a blank. I'm still inundated in the Toronto FC debacle right now. And when we talk about imploding and exploding a club, it looks like that's happening right now from top to bottom.
And your new head coach, Jim Curtin?
Yes. Was that actually announced?
No, that's where I think it's heading.
To be honest with you, I think they had an agreement with him many, many months ago, but I think he's being courted by a few groups, by a few teams.
Well, he wants to be Bill Parcells. He wants to be both technical director and head coach. And so that whatever club is going to give him both titles on the business card, I think that's where he's going to go.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. And I'm surprised that nothing has been solidified. I mean, Keith Pelly is not a soccer guru, so we'll see who that secondary person he relies on to kind of make these decisions. Who knows? There's a lot of crap happening in Canadian soccer with Vancouver's announcement saying that they want to sell. It's kind of a shot in the face to Canadian soccer, saying that they're kind of throwing their hands up in the air and giving up. And we'll probably, John, probably better than I do, that we'll probably see Vancouver move to, to south of us, south of the border for sure, and maybe find a home in Austin in San Antonio or who knows where. But it's not a good sign for Canadian soccer that Vancouver looking to sell. And who knows? There's rumors that Joey Saputo will soon be following that lead from Kerfoot. So yeah, not very good. And Toronto being the state that they are, we'll see what happens. It's the only good thing about Canadian soccer right now is Jesse Marsh and what he's doing for our national program.
All right. When you talk about TFC, let's start off here. Norm and I used to go to BMO Field. Norm was eating all the pizzas. 2017, when they won the MLS Cup, to now, so about 7 years, they were at the top of the league. Alex, we'll get back to you in a couple seconds. We're at the top of the league. Norm, I'm going to start with you. Can you explain a 7-year drop from the top of the league to virtually at the bottom?
Well, goes up to not manager, but management. I was going to say managerial, but it goes to management failures. And I mean, I don't know if there's a parallel or not, but the Raptors have been dining on that championship since 2019. And just look at their record and the margin that they lose games by. The Maple Leafs are still looking for a run, and maybe it'll be this year, into the advanced rounds of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And it makes you wonder, the only Toronto team that's perennial for, doing something magical in the postseason, in terms of any consistency with that, is the Toronto Argonauts of the Canadian Football League. They're almost dynastic now. What is it? 2 wins the last 3 years.
Yep.
Every year they're a threat to get to the Grey Cup, and this year they won it. So it makes you wonder if there's a common thread there down at MLS and E, with teams that, struggle for long periods of time and rebuilds that take extraordinarily lengthy periods of time. And I don't know, take a smarter mind than me to figure out what exactly the problem is, but there seems to be at least one common thread there. Who owns the teams?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Carm, what do you think? Do you think TFC could rebound and be at the top of the MLS, or do they need another new coach? Forget about what John said. Another new coach, an Italian coach, Carmen something or other.
I mean, you mentioned Greg Vanney from at the beginning, who ended up, obviously turning around that LA Galaxy in a short period of time. But yeah, I think that obviously Bill Manning kind of uneventfully getting rid of the Bazvichenko and the Bill and the Greg Vanney of the world changed the whole dynamic of what Toronto was. And I think that the word legacy, as Norm used, probably would have been appropriate use for Toronto FC if they managed to maintain that group. Good people, important people. They work with tons of ability and tons of integrity. And those two words have kind of been lost after Greg Vanney left, as far as I'm concerned. And like I said at the top, I don't think Pelly is really worried about TFC and the Argos, to be honest. I think he's more focused on the Leafs and the Raptors, and they'll be the focal point of his organization, unless he surrounds himself with good soccer people. I dare to say that who knows if Pelly finds a buyer for Toronto FC or the Argos, he might rid the burden as it's been said to be for MLSE for Toronto FC and the Argos. Hope not. Hope that they stick to or produce a plan, a winning plan. But right now, there's not a lot of light at the end of the tunnel.
All right. To be fair, let's go to John and let's talk about Atlanta, his team, the Hall of Famer. Go ahead, John.
Well, I mean, late last week, the signing of Ronnie Dyla as the new manager. I think that has been widely applauded by a lot of folks across Major League Soccer. Won MLS Cup in 2021 with NYCFC. Brought in Chris Henderson to be the technical director, probably one of the worst kept secrets in all of Major League Soccer, that Chris Henderson, once Raul Sanllehi at Messi and Friends decided that he liked Chris Henderson's office, that Chris Henderson, according to reports, got basically booted out of his own office in Fort Lauderdale. So he was just kind of, it might have been like the media relations director for AFC Richmond, if anybody saw season 2 and 3 of Ted Lasso, where he was trying to find an office and he'd go into a broom closet and he'd do his work there, do his work in the snack bar, find an empty place. But this is Garth Lagerwey's show now. Garth has brought in a strength and conditioning coach that he knows from his time in Seattle. Brought in Chris Henderson, who was his number 2 in Seattle, to be the number 1 when it comes to being technical director. Now they've brought in Ronnie Dyla to be head coach. They brought in Matthias Klick in a deal with DC United. And DC United got stuck because of the salary that they had and the contract that they had constructed, where they're paying most of the Matthias Klick salary. So you've got a confident midfielder, an imaginative midfielder so far. You're getting through all of your signees, and right now you've got a lot of Garber bucks to play with, and it's going to be interesting. But this is Garth Lagerwey's show. Do not misunderstand. This is all of Garth now. Garth and Chris Henderson and Ronnie Dyla, and we'll see what it looks like in trying to get a number 9. But that's probably the biggest thing on the Christmas wish list right now.
All right. As you could see there, we're joined by Norm's favorite person, I think. Go ahead. I don't know if you could see her or not, but Betty, my sister, you're joined the Christmas holiday edition by Alex Campbell, Norm Rumack. I don't know if you know him. The Hall of Famer, bigger than Norm, John Freeman Nelson, and the coach, Carmen Asako. First of all, Betty, your kid, Nathan, playing in Florida soccer. Maybe Carmen, you want to give some tips to Betty for her kid playing soccer, what she has to do to or what he has to do to be the next Messi, so I could collect millions. Is he there? I guess he went off. So okay, so forget about that that question. Oh, he's coming back in. See, Carm, what's wrong with you? Carm, did you hear what I said?
I did not.
We're joined by my sister Betty.
Hi, Farm.
And
Hi,
Betty has.
Betty. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Nice to see you. Nice and warm in Florida.
It's beautiful in Florida. It's starting to actually cool down a little bit. It was actually a gorgeous day. We had a high of like 82 today, so can't complain.
Nice, nice.
Very nice.
All right. Betty has a kid, Nathan, playing in Orlando. He's up and coming, a very good player. Do you have any words of advice to Betty for his kid, Nathan, playing soccer in Orlando? And, Carm, they need, once he becomes like 20 and goes to university, you got to give him the highest contract at York University.
Yeah.
York University.
Which isn't much. No. Just, I mean, stay at it. Make sure that you keep your expectations low and your standards high. So standards for his work rate, standards for, the best thing that soccer does is complete people. It makes people more complete, more disciplined, and I think that's the best lesson that parents sometimes forget about their developing child. That the game encompasses discipline and encompasses teamwork and encompasses all those things that are going to make them better people, and that's important as well. That's the most important. And if it takes them to the next level, obviously it'll be great. But I think your standards should be high, but your expectations should be that he becomes a better person. And I think that would be a proper perspective and a healthy perspective on his growth, not only on the field but off the field.
Okay,
That's
Norm,
great.
stop texting me. Stop texting me. You're saying Carmen taking all the airtime. You have Betty here, so go ahead, Norm. You get 23 seconds.
Well, I didn't text you, but it's always a pleasure to see Betty. Betty's
Hi.
a pretty Betty, it's always great to see you. You're a pretty special person. You're great with your kids. You're great with your family. You're great with Joe. And
Thank you.
you were a real blessing, as was Joe, to your late parents. You and Joe have been through a lot, but the way you've gone through it and the work you did helping not only them but helping Joe, Betty, it's a real credit, and it's a real honor to know someone as special as you.
That's so sweet. Thank you so much. And happy holidays to you, Norm.
Yeah,
Norm,
thanks.
say
Same to
something
you.
in
Happy
Hebrew for
Hanukkah.
Betty.
Happy Hanukkah.
Say
Thank you,
something in
dear.
Hebrew for Betty. Come on.
Okay, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay,
All right.
and
The
when it's
viewership for
dry and
John
ready,
David
my dreidel I shall play.
Come
All
on,
right.
is that the only one
Betty, I
you
know,
know?
I know. Tell everybody, because I think it's important during the holiday season. Tell everybody where you're off to right now.
Oh no, I just I volunteer for my synagogue. They have a basically what they call Chabad Cares volunteer community. So I'm just delivering a bunch of Hanukkah baskets to some senior homes in the area, and they have no
Hey,
idea
Norm,
that
aren't
I'm
you
coming.
senior yet?
Huh?
Hey, Norm's a senior. You got a basket for him?
Norm, I'm sorry. I would have delivered one Federal Express to you. I wouldn't get there in time probably, but
All
yeah,
right. Well, if you have
maybe
if you have a
next year.
new poster this year, I'll take that instead.
Oh, God.
I haven't done that one in a while. The calendars, yes.
I
That's
Yeah,
know.
right.
I'll have to come out of retirement to do a calendar,
Yeah,
I think.
definitely, Betty. Definitely come out of retirement.
Betty, I know you have to go, but do you have any words as this is the holiday edition? Christmas, Hanukkah, all other holidays here, and it's been like Norm said, a tough year for me and you, and I'm sure for a lot of other people and fans. But I'll give you the
Yes,
floor.
yes. So the only and the main thing that I really want to say and get across, regardless of who you are, how old you are, what your background is to try and share light and love during this holiday season, because the more we do that, we bring goodness into the world, which is exactly the reason why we're here. So whoever you are, in whatever capacity that God gave you, that you can influence others in a positive way, like take it upon yourself to do something beautiful that will have a lasting impact on somebody else, regardless of whether or not you know what that impact is, just because you're doing it for the good of the deed itself. So let's bring lots of love and light into this beautiful time and manifest all the beautiful things that everybody wants in their life this year, from good health to success to wealth to everything that we could possibly imagine. I'm a big believer in energy and frequency and the ability to manifest through our words and our actions and thoughts. So everybody has to level up, step up to the plate, do good without the intention of receiving anything back. That's a big lesson in life to try and do kind of humbly is I think the most important thing. So remember that we're all equal in this world and we can do our part, each one of us. So happy holidays. Thank you so much for having me on, and lovely to speak with all of you. Happy
All right.
Hanukkah, happy holidays. Bye.
That's my
That
sister
was
now. You could see who the Beauty and the Beast is. All right, that's my sister Betty Hill. You could see who the Beauty and the Beast is. That's
Oh,
it.
you want to see a beast before I go? I'm gonna show
Oh, you
you.
want?
oh.
We see Norm all the time. Come on,
That's my little beast. Maddie, say
That's-
hi. You're on the air. Say hi, Maddie.
Carm. Don't you have dogs? Show your dogs. It's a holiday edition. Come on.
He's sleeping.
You see?
Oh,
All right. Thanks, Betty. I'll talk to you later.
okay,
Great
happy
seeing you,
holidays.
Betty.
You too,
Bye,
Norm.
dear.
Thank you.
But
Thank you, sweetie.
All right, that was Betty Hill there, and we'll go back. Alex hasn't touched on anything here, so Alex, what sport do you want to talk on? And we'll go with that. We'll go 5 or 10 more minutes with this show. So
All right, yeah. I think it's a salient point to like talk on a little bit of everything that's happened in like, the sports world, at least in my sports world, because I don't cover a lot of the things you guys do as far as like soccer, wrestling, and all that. But I mean, just to recap a few things that, were really special that happened in 24, like, Otani's first season with the Dodgers and how huge that was. Celtics winning their 18th NBA title. LeBron and Bronny, playing together, first father-son duo in the NBA to do that. Gino Auriemma became the winningest coach in college basketball history this year. That doesn't get talked about enough. Jake Paul defeating Mike Tyson in what we all know was an absolute nonsensical fight that wasn't real.
Hold on. Norm, do you want to do a pre-show interview there with Mike, like
Well,
Mike Tyson did, or no? Because I know Carm's interested in seeing that.
What Alex said was absolutely spot on. That Tyson fight was a joke.
Absolute joke.
He's making millions, and and about fighting, there a big fight happened on the weekend. Usyk and Fury lost again. So not many people talked about that fight. Also, a lot of news came out of that also. So, but again, we'll start with.
But we also should emphasize that the Celtics head coach, his mentor is Pep Guardiola. He referred to a lot of the soccer stuff on his basketball team. And
look at Carm, Norm. I expected it from you. Look at Carm coming up.
Yeah.
Also, you want to know
it's refreshing that excuse me if I screw up his name, but Joe Musala, Joe.
Yeah, Musala. Yeah.
He's someone kind of driven by intelligence and driven by like what a refreshing human being, regardless of his coaching credentials, but what a refreshing human being. And it was great to see the Celtics win with that group of honest players.
All right, go ahead, Alex.
All right, a little more nonsense. Travis Hunter wins the Heisman, even though Ashton Genty posted the best season we've ever seen by a running back in college football in the non-running era, which is obscene, breaking Barry Sanders' record. Still, he should have got the Heisman. Alabama was left out of the first 12-team playoff for SMU, who got shelled in the first round. I'm pretty sure Bama would have had the same result, but either way, it would have been better to see the Crimson Tide there. Juan Soto, another nonsensical thing, $700 million over 15 years. I mean, come on, that's never going to work out. And this is such a classic, by the way, New York sports move, just like we saw with Aaron Rodgers. You sign the big name to the big contract, it goes nowhere. Aaron Rodgers, Carmelo Anthony, Amari Stoudemire. The list goes on and on and on. This is New York Sports 101. If it's not the Yankees, they don't win. Michigan wins the national title for the first time in 26 years, something I'm very proud of myself. Belichick, Saban, and Pete Carroll all exit the NFL in the same year, kind of like a whole changing of the guard in the NFL. That was significant. Caitlin Clark, taking the WNBA by storm in her rookie season, and the Chiefs repeating as Super Bowl champions. That's my list to remember of 24.
I think John really likes all your list there.
It looked like it.
Nodding back and forth there. And speak about the WNBA, we can't forget WNBA announcing Toronto as the latest expansion team. The Toronto Tempo begins in 26. They're going to play out of Coca-Cola Coliseum. And the ladies hockey, they're playing at Coca-Cola Coliseum. The Toronto Scepters, that's their new name of the ladies hockey. And John, do you even want to talk about the Toronto Rock? No, let's not. All right, that's
not yet. After the first of the year, we'll talk about the Rock of the
And Carm, is there any new teams coming aboard in 25, 26 in the greater GTA area for soccer?
No, same old CPL, still trudging along. The women's league seems stronger kind of blueprint than the men's. The NSL, it's called Northern Soccer League. Diana Matheson, Christine St. Clair, massive investors. Kerfoot, massive investor. So a very good financial backing in Montreal. Toronto has a bunch of investors. We'll see how that goes. But they're starting. There's 4 months away from the first kick, and starting to sign players, starting to develop an identity. And we're starting with 6 teams in the league. And hopefully it gets enough momentum to sustain a good crowd. We're talking 4,000 a game, we hope. They're playing out of York University, the AFC Toronto team. AFC Toronto is playing out of York University, And hopefully 2026 brings a few more facilities, soccer specific facilities where pro teams can play out of. Right now, it's BMO Field and York University. Not any other fields are really suited to play professional soccer. But NSL coming up. Interested to see how we'll get what will happen in Toronto and what the following will be. But it seems to be a pretty good team shaping up. Good coach, Marko Milanovic. Should be a good team to watch. So hopefully we can get numbers out to support.
All right, since this is the holiday edition, I'm going to go around the horn. I'll start off with Alex. What are you doing on Christmas? What's your Christmas tradition, I guess?
Going back to, I moved out to Massachusetts about 4 years ago. We go back home to Michigan, where I'm from, every year to see my parents and some extended family. So we're doing that again, biting the bullet, taking off tonight. So I look forward to spending time with all my relatives, though. It's what we do every year, and it's the most special time of year for that reason.
I hope we have a big hatred in February, the Bills and the Lions.
I hope so, too.
All right. And you bet, since you're being employed by here and Norm pays the bills, you better go for the Bills for the Super Bowl. All right, Norm. Norm, go ahead. I know his tradition. His tradition is I'll tell you. I'm working. Don't bother me. I'm working 8-hour shifts. Right.
Just Joe, that's the best thing you've ever said in the 25 years I've ever known.
It's actually 35, but I don't want to,
Oh, that's true. It is 35. No, I'm working, but I guess the silver lining in the cloud is that I get statutory holiday pay, which is 2.5 times regular pay. So
you mean you're getting paid more than me? They pay you more than me?
Well, on one night of the year, Joe, yes.
All right.
Maybe it's 3. Anyways, you get paid on the stat holiday, so between Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and New Year's Day, it helps a little bit, so I can buy Joe some good food on his birthday on February the 5th.
February 5th, Don Cherry's birthday. February 8th, get it right. After 35 years, doesn't even know that. All right. Carm, what are you doing for Christmas?
Yeah, just some family stuff. Kids always look forward to opening presents. They're getting older too, so it's still fun. But family stuff, and just hope to enjoy the family.
John, did you hear that? For the 51st year, he's still not taking me to Nino D'Aversa. See?
Nino D'Aversa.
Right. John, how about you?
It's going to be the end result of what is happening right now. We are heading down to catch up with Patty's mom and her family, and getting there later tonight. Staring at the sun permitting as we chase it into the western frontier. So should be there 8 o'clock local time, and we'll be down there for the remainder of the week. And hopefully cell service and or dial-up internet will be functioning so we can do all the content that we traditionally do during the week.
And
so we'll see
speaking
what
about internet and all that, John, Carm, Alex, Norm, you got to have Netflix. On Wednesday, Netflix showing NFL football, but bigger story, I know Carm is interested in this. Starting Monday, January 6th, Netflix hosting Raw. Raw on Netflix, by the way, for all the WWE fans in Canada, you're not going to get it unless you get Netflix. They're going off Sportsnet. TNA, Total Nonstop Action, just signing a deal with Sportsnet 360 to begin programming there. So there's a lot of changes happening in the world of wrestling. But Netflix, I know, Norm, you watch Netflix all the time. You're watching The Grinch and all this stuff, right, Norm?
Yeah, I watch Netflix. I might be busy when wrestling's on, though, Joe.
Yeah, right. He's watching the chicken or something. All right. I'll start off with you. Any last words here? Again, we're going to come back here for the year-end show next Monday. I don't know what time. Check out our socials, what time. And by the way, we're Fired Up Network, but we also have Female Empowerment Movement, and they have a special show airing tomorrow evening, 7:30, The Blaze, Christmas edition of The Blaze. You got to tune in to check this out. Alex, also, tell everybody where they can see you, hear you, and you and Gerald are doing great things with your show.
Appreciate it. Yeah. So I mean, I'm all over the Fired Up Network. I've got Time Out with Gerald Bentley, College Gridiron with Gerald Bentley. He's a great co-host. Been working together for a number of years now. Starting the crossover back up again on my NBA show here. I'm publishing the first episode, tonight, and then kick it
Can
out
you have an
tomorrow.
all
Looking really forward
Syracuse
to that.
show so Norm can be on?
Yeah.
Well,
Norm's welcome on anything I do, anytime.
hey, Alex, can I just, I got to throw in one thing. Can I
Yeah.
just get a 30-second rant from you on the great job Fran Brown has done at Syracuse in 1 year?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Fran Brown has taken the typical Syracuse 4-1 start and turned it into an 8-1 start. So a lot to be excited about in Syracuse. Let's hope that next year, the final third of the season culminates in at least 2 wins. That would be fantastic if I were Syracuse. I'm rooting hard for the Orange.
All right. Sounds good.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah. And it's at the bottom of the screen here. I'm at Fired Up Alex on X, at Fired Up Alex on Insta. And that's basically it, man. That's where you can find me, and the shows will be on here on the great Fired Up Network.
All right, Norm. Norm will be back throughout the new year, talking Braves, talking Blue Jays, how they're throwing away another year, not signing Juan Soto, Vlad Guerrero turning down $340 million, almost as much as Carm turns down every week. So, Norm, go ahead. Tell everybody where they can hear you, see you, everything.
Well, pretty much, exclusively right here on the Fired Up Network with my good friend for many years, Joseph Pasek, and with all the great guests you folks have heard and seen here with Carm and John and Alex. And so Joe has a lot of great guests. We all bring in some special people. And any sport you have a fascination with, any form of sport entertainment, and especially Joe's brilliance. I mean that honestly. That brought in the Fem Network, and that's been an absolutely superb move for Fired Up and for Joseph Pasek. So he's got a very creative mind, and that's why we're all here together at the same time.
All right, thanks a lot for you. $5 underneath the table. All right.
Thanks, Joe. You need it.
All right, John, and to echo what Norm says, look at what we have right here. Look at what we have right here. John Freeman Nelson, a Hall of Famer. Did you win that award? It was this week or next week or?
They've still got a couple of weeks for the.
But you're already a Hall of Famer. Now you're going to be a two-time. That's 3 time, but anyways, Hall of Famer. But we got a Hall of Famer. We got a Hall of Fame coach, Carmen Osako, and up and coming, Alex Campbell, and broadcasting legend Norm Rumack. This is just the beginning. We have. I just acquired some special ladies for Fem. They're going to do more work and great shows. Check out the show again, Christmas Eve, Christmas edition of The Blaze on the Fem Network. I also have signed, and Alex would like this, Vernon Wells is going to do baseball for us. Bruce Smith also, and we got Randy Cross and everything like that. Every sport, we're going to try to get one former or current player on it. We do it every year. And obviously, our good friends, Norm's good friend, Tracy Murray, Morris Peterson, the Junkyard Dog. Norm and him are fighting because Junkyard Dog stole his bone, right? And of course, Carmen bringing great soccer talent here and everything like that. But Carm, yeah, I'll leave it up to you. I know you don't want to get noticed. You don't want to get notified. Maybe John will tell them where to reach you.
There you go, Joe. If anyone needs me, it's Joe. Joe, keep up the great work you're doing. Keep up all the great work you're doing, John, Norm. And if anyone ever needs me, just go through Joe.
All right, and like my sister said, it's been a very, very, very hard, I guess, 6 months for myself and my family and my sister. I have virtually close family, nobody left. They all passed away in the last 6 months. So these guys here have been really, I know it's the Christmas, Hanukkah, and holiday season, and I know a lot of people are dealing with a lot of drama and a lot of issues like myself. Don't be afraid to reach the phone, call somebody, talk to somebody. You're not alone. Even though I said I don't have family, these guys and Norm's been amazing at this also. John's been amazing at this. Carm, anytime I call him on, okay, no problem. John, he was actually pissed off last week. He didn't get the link, so he wanted to come on to see Norm's face. All right, so you can't live without Norm's face. But honestly, all kidding aside, during the holiday season, some people are facing battles that very hard to think of. Very hard to think of, like myself, losing both parents in about a 6 week span. It's very hard to think of, but you always have friends and family, and I consider all these guys here and everybody on the Fired Up and Fem Network family. Reach out, call them. You're not alone. And even if you talk to them for 2 minutes, they give you encouragement and they give you added insight and all that. Norm, you want to say something? Because I know you battled some problems this year too. So you want to say anything along the lines, Norm?
Yeah, I think for most people, Joe is right, or just about everybody. You might have more friends than what you know, and most people are good about opening up, and if they know you're in a tough situation, you're back to the wall, people will do things for you. So reach out, even if people you haven't spoken to, even people you might be angry at or they're angry at you, just reach out. You'd be surprised. Most people, when push comes to shove, have a big heart. And yeah, do reach out because it's much better than the alternative. That's for sure.
John, any comments about that? I don't know if John.
No, and that's the key. Is that you've got to understand that it's okay not to be okay, and don't be afraid to reach out and don't be afraid to listen either. Don't be afraid to offer yourself in these kinds of situations because you never know what is going on the other side of the line. You don't know what that other person's going through, and you don't know how much of a help you can be by just being there for someone any chance you get.
Carm, maybe you're one of the best people to talk about this because you're a coach and you're a coach of the youngsters. You contribute to moving along you're playing soccer, but they have to get their mind right. And when you lose people like myself, immediate family, your mind is, who knows if you're going to get it back right away, and they got to play and next week there's another game and they got to practice and all that. Maybe you're the best person to speak about that, Carm.
Oh, I think your sister said it brilliantly. I said the importance of us as people is to be there for each other, and the easiest thing we can do and the hardest thing we can do sometimes is just be there and be nice, and be available. So yeah, in this Christmas and holiday season, I think that we, like your sister said, we need to be available for our friends and just be empathetic and sympathetic and because one day for sure we're going to need the same type of listening. So Joe, we love you. We want you to keep going. Everyone, you do great work, and I think that it's important that not only are we there for you, but we encourage you to keep doing great work.
Oh, thanks a lot for that, Carm, Alex, Norm, John. We wouldn't be here without you guys, especially during last 6 months. John, you know what I think of you. Alex, also Norm. Like we said, we knew each other 35, 40 years. And Carm, I still think, and John could agree, he should be the coach in an MLS team there. Okay, so and we'll hopefully that happens in the next year or two. But again, whatever you celebrate it safely with friends and family, and don't forget, if you fight with your mom or your dad, don't fight. Just give them, because they could be gone in a second, and you'll be like missing them like crazy. So during the holiday season, just spend time with your friends and family. And whatever you get a present, you get whatever. It's better to give presents than to receive. But whatever you get, be happy with what you get, because there's millions of people fighting to survive in life. All right. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. All the best to you and your families. Once again, tomorrow on FEM, Female Empowerment Movement, 7:30, the return of the Blaze. 3 new ladies here on FEM, and they do a superb job on a Christmas edition. And we'll be back here next Monday for the year-end show where Carmen Asako is going to announce whether the Maple Leafs will win the Stanley Cup in 2029, not 25, in 2029. All right. Again, thanks a lot to my sister, Norm Rumack, Alex Campbell, John Freeman Nelson, and the coach, Carmen Asako. Happy holidays. Merry